Hi, my crafties, it's Tree. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a good and crafty day. Alright, so I've had a couple of you ask how I make my pop-up memory decks cards. So I'm going to attempt a tutorial. We'll see how this goes. Alright, so for the one, when you open it up and it shows the four little squares that pop, they'll be like this and it'll pop open like that. And there'll be picture, 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 picture. I had that tutorial. It's in my memory decks playlist, or my pop-up, or it might say interactive. It might say interactive cards. So it's in there. And I took as many shortcuts as I could. Hold on one moment. Okay, I'm back. So what I did was I took, these are 110-pound Park Lane from Joann's. Joanne, if you're hearing me, restock the 110-pound white cardstock. Please, 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 please. I'm missing it. And anyway, okay. So what I do there is I will take a piece of decorative paper and cover this completely. And then on the back, I put my information and newbie tip, or anybody tip, whenever you're sending a memory decks card, just go ahead and cover up your information that you don't want everyone to know. And then there won't be any surprises or oopsies or whatever. There's a little bit of glue here, and I will get that off later. So I don't have these covered, but then I would punch a hole in. So say this one had the decorative sheet on top. So I would punch a hole in here, and I would bend my my brad, and I use my tweezers to grab it like this and keep it from folding in all the way. And I use my E6000 to put glue on the back there, so that because that will hold the brad. And then this one would have my information on it. I would then put my Aleen's Tacky glue all over the back of that, or whichever glue you prefer. It might be art glitter glue, it might be Scotch, it might be Glossy Accents. I don't know what you use. So not gonna tell you what to use, but I know what I use. Okay. And then you would sandwich those together. Now you have 4 layers, so that makes it pretty thick. Okay, we're not going to need these anymore. That was for demonstration purposes. And then I take a piece that is basically one of these. Well, I guess it's a lot longer. Let me find out how long that is. I'm back. As you can tell, I'm not used to doing tutorials. So this is 4 inches wide by about 5 1/4. So there's, and then it's scored in half. It is 1 full decorative sheet, and then I just lined the inside with pink paper. I did cut down the center, or a little bit more than, because if you get it too close to that crease, then you get bulking and bowing and parts coming out over the top, that sort of thing. Did all my decorating inside. Look, I fussy cut that little tiny candy out. But so I did fussy cut a lot. This is one big piece, and then I fussy cut 3 little flowers there. And I put my little flowers on the front and a sticker. It's a what is this? Chipboard sticker. And then those little dewdrop thingies. This paper collection is the BoBunny Sweet Moments. I haven't used it in a while, and I would show you the paper pad, but seriously, my paper pad has like 4 sheets in it, and the rest is scraps, and the lid, the cover is gone and missing. It's very loved and very sad shape. So, okay, we're gonna move on. So normally I probably wouldn't decorate all that first. I would fold it and then situate this and glue it down and then decorate. But this works too. That way, if you make any mistakes, you don't have to, you can, you don't have to swap out the whole thing. You could just swap out this. So I have my Aleen's glue, which is very messy. Put that away. And we're going to put glue on the back. This is that Aleen's bottle that is supposed to stand this way. My bottle never, I don't know. I don't think the tip hit the cap properly, so it would just continuously leak glue and make a big mess. So anyway, I do like the Aleen's bottle because the glue is already, the tip is already cut, and I don't have to fuss with that. But when I use Scotch, I just chose to not replace my cap. No, I chose to replace my cap. Okay, when I got a new bottle, I just took the old cap off, nozzle off my bottle and put it on my new bottle. So just matching up the edges. And I'm not going to need this again, so I'm going to cap that. And when I'm not using it, I have it this way, and when I am using it, I just lay it on the side so that it'll be easier to get glue out of there. But I want to get that glue. I know it dries clear, but it does leave a shiny. Alright, so the last part we're going to work with is the pop-up. Now for this one I chose to use clear, either acetate or this is Dura Lar. My understanding is that acetate is, I think, more earth-friendly or biodegradable, and Dura Lar will never rip or tear. I could be wrong, but that's what I read. So what I do with that is I cut a piece. I usually measure my object, which is the little candy dish, and I cut a strip that long, and I think this is like half an inch, quarter an inch, half an inch. And then I figure out how tall my object is. And between the how tall my object is, I'll bring this up. You have this much space, not this much space, but this much space. So that when you close it, because it's going to be glued here and here, when you close it, you don't want it to protrude out here. You want it to stay within this area. So I take the object and then I measure the distance here, which, you know, it was an inch and then some, so I just went with an inch. So each one of these increments is an inch. So you got an inch here, an inch here, an inch here, and an inch here. And normally, this was just a scrap. Normally, I wouldn't leave that little tiny bit. I would go more over here. So it would end up being more like that look. Not in a triangle though, but just, you know, that distance. So, and you glue it together and you form a square. So that's pretty easy. Squares are easy, we like them. It's hip to be square, right? So I'm going to use my Glossy Accents, and I'm going to put glue on the bottom. This thing has been flowing very nicely for me. There we go. You don't want to use a lot because this is non-porous, and it'll just ooze, and you don't want oozing. Okay. And then you figure out where you want it. and you get it right down into that crease. It's flush in the crease and it's flush on the bottom. And that's where you want it. And then it's literally glue drying. And you can use your tweezers, whatever, to hold it in place until it is dry. I wish I had one that was completely dry. I was trying to think of how to do that. I know, make another one. But for me, I don't tend to make one object multiple times. That's a rare. I did for those paperscapes recently. But normally I don't. And you can go ahead and fold it down and squash it. And then that should fit in this. Mine's a little bit short, so you can just take and give it a little nudge and then it'll start to hold it. But I can see that I got a lot of gaps, so I really want to make sure that everything is touching and connecting and staying put and gluing. But that's how I make them. It's a lot of layers, and I try to make this fold one piece. I used to try to do it where I would glue one to the other, kind of, you know, like glue one edge and then glue another edge, but they would always fall apart. So it's always better to make sure that the fold is one solid piece and that the brad is sandwiched between a layer or two. I think this is pretty much held up. It's pretty, no, it's not. I just saw it go pop. Put that back. So that's it. And yeah, I just used those paper flowers and I coiled the ends. And I had fun with this one. I really liked it. So I will catch you in my next video. And until then, God bless you and yours. Bye for now. Oh, I hope you guys really liked this video. I will link the one to the other pop-up that I made, MDC pop-up, and I'll link that in the end suggestion thingies, the end page. All right, I will catch you in my next video. Until then, God bless you and yours. Bye for now.